We'll compare four different polymer pistols: the H&K USP 45, the Smith & Wesson M&P 45, the Springfield XD 45, and the Glock 21 SF. These are all full-size polymer pistols that shoot 45 ACP. They're all fairly modern, and we'll compare them on four different variables: their sights, their triggers, their ability to CCW, and their ergonomics. Let's start out with the Glock. We're going to give them a scale of 1 to 4, and on the Glock, the ergonomics are going to come in last. They're going to get a number 4. Just the 21 is a big pistol. Even the SF is a hard one to hold on to. It's not a very left-hand friendly either. Its trigger is pretty decent, so it'll get a 2 for that, and it'll come in first for CCW because of its reliability. Its sights are okay, so that will get a 2 for its sights. Overall, that gives it a 9, and we'll compare that with the other pistols in the group here. Overall, though, I think it's a really reliable pistol to carry. Next up, we'll take a look at the XD45 from Springfield. Now this one is going to win over the Glock on ergonomics. It's a little bit easier to use with the left hand, and it does have a very slim grip. Its trigger's the worst out of the group, so it'll come in with a 4 there. Its ability to CCW, because of its weak sights and trigger, it's only going to be a 3. So its overall is a 13, and again, we'll compare those at the end of the video. Next up, we'll take a look at the Smith & Wesson M&P 45, and this one is quickly becoming one of my favorites. As we're talking here, I'll be taking apart the back strap on it on the video there, showing how it's using the medium back strap. It comes with a small and with a large as well, so it can be adjusted for the different hand sizes. So overall ergonomics, the Springfield wins, and I give it a 1. Its trigger is definitely its weak link, and it gets a 3. The only reason it didn't come in last is because it is possible to upgrade their triggers. As far as overall CCW, I gave it a 2. Came in second to the Glock, only because it doesn't have the decades of reliability that the Glocks have. And its sights come in at first because they're not, while they're not the best, they are decent night sights, but you can change them. So it's overall, I think, a very good option for a CCW pistol. Next up, we'll take a look at the most expensive one, the H&K USP 45. Now this one is a little different than the others because it's a double action, single action. Because it has a hammer and a decocker, it's got more levers and more things to deal with. Otherwise, it's a very comfortable gun, so it does get a 3, but it does come in before the Glock because it is a little more comfortable to shoot. Its trigger is definitely a nice one, so it'll win the group as far as the trigger. Definitely a fun gun to shoot and an accurate gun to shoot. For overall CCW, because it's a double action, single action, I'm going to give it a 4. I think it's unnecessary to train your brain to have to deal with a long trigger pull and then a short trigger pull. And lastly, the sights aren't great, but they do come in fairly low in this group because it's so difficult to change them and to find other sights for it. Unfortunately, because it's not popular with many law enforcement, it doesn't have a lot of sight options like some of the others. Overall, then, it gets an 11. And now let's take a look at those numbers compared to each other. So we have the 4 different pistols here. They all can have about a 13-round magazine. The H&Ks can get 12-round magazines. Overall ergonomics, there you see the Glock came in last. For trigger, the XD came in last. For CCW, again, the H&K came in last because of its type of action, and the sights had more to do with if there are aftermarket sights available and if it's easy to change them. So overall, the Glock came in second, the M&P won, and the XD lost. However, because I don't agree with those necessarily overall, I did change it up, and overall I gave the M&P first place, the Glock second place, and then I switched the H&K and the XD because I do think that the XD, I would rather carry the XD with its long consistent trigger pull over the H&K's double action, single action. So hopefully this was an interesting comparison. Of course, your mileage may vary, but in any case, thanks for watching.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.